Good morning. Let me do a sound check. Just let me know if you can hear me. Yesterday we saw uploaded on Facebook supposedly the PAO forensic team initial findings on Richard Red Santillan. Assume natin for the moment that these findings are genuine. Okay, for the moment, because we have no way of verifying it at the moment. Although we understand that the video where Attorney Percy Acosta and Dr. Erwin Erfre arrived at the area where the forensic examination was conducted is attached to the same findings. Okay. What are the findings here? Well, in order for us to discuss the findings, kailangan alam natin kung ano yung supposedly sinasabi ng police regarding the instances surrounding the events surrounding the death of Richard Santillan. First, Richard Santillan was attending a gift-giving event and left the area at about 10 p.m. On the same day, the police indicated in their spot report na yung alleged encounter nila happened at about 1:15. According to the police spot report, as narrated by Attorney Glenn Chong, the police initially accosted the vehicle, and the person driving, in this case Richard Santillan, tried to get away, which explains why the team that was composed of 2 HPG officers, members of the Region 4 police, and members and one other police unit, 18 people in all, opened fire on Mr. Santillan. Okay. According to the same spot report, the operation was based on solid intel reports that indicated that Mr. Santillan is supposedly involved in a, how do you call this, in a syndicate that is involved in running drugs. Now, so kung ibabase natin dun sa report ng PNP, dun sa Region 4, ano daw? So, based on the report of the PNP, this means that Mr. Santillan was alive at the time of the encounter. Second is, nung time ang sinasabing oras ng PNP ng alleged encounter, ay about 1:15. Given na 10 o'clock siya umalis ng event at hindi kalayuan yung area ng encounter from the event, ang may 3 oras po na hindi tumutugma doon sa, kumbaga hindi ma-account yung 3 oras kung saan nagpunta si Mr. Santillan. Also, furthermore, ang kini-question ni Attorney Chong is bakit from 1:15, from the time of the alleged encounter, the time that his family was informed, is almost more than 24 hours, 6 p.m. of the next day. Okay. Furthermore, also noteworthy is why the PNP hierarchy, or in particular, General Albayalde, Chief PNP, has not discussed the case, which has some national implication, given that Mr. Santillan is closely associated with Attorney Glenn Chong, who has challenged Smartmatic and has provided testimony very recently in both the Senate and in the House. Okay. Hindi ko po ako nanood nung kay Ma'am Winnie Monsod. Next. According to, so now we'll discuss the findings. Ayon dun sa PAO forensic team initial findings, there are 2 sets of wounds. Isa antemortem, isa postmortem. Injuries inflicted while he was still alive, before he died, and then injuries inflicted after he was dead. Bakit significant ito? Kasi nga, yung theory ng police is simple. Nagkaroon ng encounter, namatay siya doon. Pero kung may ganun na encounter, kung yun ang naging cause of death niya, solely yung cause of death, ito yung ibang mga findings that don't support the police theory or the police report. So, if there were injuries, we assume of course that Richard was alive nung time na yon. Kaya lang, meron din mga findings ng pagbubugbog, pagsasaksak, and possible signs of torture. Hindi na discuss dito yung finding yung observation ni Attorney Chong about the missing toenail, pero merong findings na there are 17 bullet entry wounds at saka 12 bullet exit wounds. So far, consistent yan dun sa police report. Pero meron ding findings of 7 incisions and lacerated wounds. Incisions and lacerated wounds are not caused by bullet wounds. These are usually caused by sharp objects or are usually caused by sharp objects. He had 6 puncture wounds. Puncture wounds consistent with possible pagsasaksak, as the same report indicates. 6 puncture wounds, and hindi maliwanag kung yung puncture wounds dito ay antemortem or postmortem. Pero meron 7 na pasa at pagdurugo. Ang pasa, definitely, magkakaroon ka lang ng pasa, magko-coagulate yung blood after a force is inflicted on the body, magko-coagulate lang yung blood kung buhay pa siya. Hindi mangyayari po yon kung nabugbog yung katawan after namatay, so post-mortem. So this is most likely an antemortem wound na hindi consistent with the story of the PNP, unless sasabihin nila later on na nabangga pa yung kotse. But there's no such indication in the spot report. According to the initial findings, ang kinamatay ni Mr. Santillan ay multiple gunshot wounds to the head, neck, chest, hands, and feet. So, ang trajectories ng bala, ibig sabihin kung saan dumadaan yung bala, ay mula sa harap, sa likod, at sa tagiliran. Ito consistent with the encounter na sinasabi ng pulis kasi napapaligiran ang bullet holes na nakikita natin on the photographs of the car of Attorney Chong ay nanggagaling from... Sorry, tumatawag si TP. Sandali. Mamaya ko na siya sasagutin. So, yung mga sa ulo, merong tinatawag na maraming tama ng blunt object or matigas na bagay na tumama sa likuran, itaas at harapan ng bahagi ng ulo. Nakikita ang pagdurugo sa loob ng bungo. So, ito ang consistent with antemortem blows to the head. So, wala namang indication nga na nagkaroon ng any sort of accident that would have indicated that Mr. Santillan could have hit his head multiple times during the course of the operation. May undetermined o maaaring entry wound galing sa likod. May mga puncture wound sa pagsasaksak mula sa likuran. So, may indication ito ng... So, again, yung pagsasaksak hindi consistent dun sa kwento ng PNP that this was simply an encounter at binaril siya because he tried to get away. Yung may tama ng bala sa panga at leeg. Pero balikan natin yung puncture wound sa likod. Ang puncture wound sa likod indicates a possible stabbing from the back, which means na meron ditong treachery. Kasi ibig sabihin, the blow was inflicted while the person is incapable of defending himself. Gayon din with the bullet wounds. So, yung mga bullet wounds na galing sa likod, na sa likod tumama, ay also indicative of possible treachery. Naniniguro po yung pumapatay sa kanya o yung sumaksak sa kanya o yung bumaril sa kanya that he will malilesen yung capability niya na makalaban. So, ini-interpret lang natin dito yung mga findings. Sabi nga, ini-reiterate dito sa report na isang set of wounds nung buhay pa, may mga wounds na wala ng tissue reaction, meaning ang mga wounds ay nasustain nung patay na siya, which sustains the theory that Attorney Chong has been proposing na it is possible na yung so-called encounter is staged, baka patay na si Mr. Santillan at the time of the alleged encounter at 1:15. So, may signs daw ng pangbubugbog, saksak, malapitan, which means that hindi ito rin consistent with an encounter kasi you have to get up close para mabugbog, and you have to, and the same with pagsasaksak, you have to get up close. Sabi ng report, karamihan ng trajectory ng bala ay downward or pababa, which also might indicate treachery kasi ibig sabihin nasa prone position or nakahiga yung katawan or nasa lower position yung katawan, indicating a lesser capability of defending himself. So sabi dun sa report, total of 63 injuries found on Richard's body. Pinakamatagal na forensic exam na ito daw na ginawa ng PAO. So, remember also that in a criminal case, ang may burden of proof yung prosecution. Yung defense nga, hindi kailangan mag-present ng evidence, maaari lang gawin ng defense is tirahin ng tirahin or questionin yung ebidensya na prinisenta ng prosecution para mag-fail yung kaso na yon. So, in this case, hindi po na masyado nagsa-stand up yung pinopropose ng PNP na, pinopropose, yung ninanarrate ng PNP na nangyari. Straightforward yung kanilang story. Richard Santillan daw was the subject of an intel report at sinabi sa intel report na kasangkot daw siya sa isang sindikato that involved drug running. At base dun sa same spot report, may mga barel na nahanap at saka drugs na nahanap sa loob ng sasakyan. Ang theory ng police ay either pusher si Mr. Santillan at involved nga siya dito sa isang sindikato. So, during the time that he was accosted, ito nga yung tanong if subject siya ng intel report, bakit hindi nila siya inimbestigahan at ginawang subject ng isang warrant of arrest or sinearch validly ang kanyang home? Instead, they had an encounter. Bakit nila pinipigilan si Mr. Santillan? So, ang sinasabi ng PNP is that he had possibly on his person drugs or guns. At kapag moving vehicle kasi, hindi kailangan ng search warrant. Pero, ang tanong is, if he tried to get away, why were they using such deadly force? Diba? So, yun pa, that's another thing. Hindi po, kailangan po kasi, yung story ng PNP has to be consistent. Kasi pag hindi na siya consistent, sila na ang maaaring gawing subject of a criminal investigation. And in this case, yung initial findings na pinipresent ni Dr. Urfe are considerable enough para ma-question yung initial report ng PNP. Hindi natin sinasabi that there is sufficient evidence here to indicate a crime has been committed, but certainly there is enough evidence here to conduct an investigation on the police operatives who have been doing this. Ang problema is that the PNP has limited its investigation only to whether or not deadly force, unnecessary force or excessive force was used during the operation. Hindi nila kini-question the entire operation itself. Furthermore, tama yung observation that Chief Albayalde had conducted a press conference or had made a statement on JR file done but has not made any sort of statement on this particular criminal case, which involves 18 police officers. So, on the matter of the number of police who are currently being investigated for use of excessive force, it merits at least a nod on the part of the PNP. Kahit man lang statement that there will not be a whitewash in this case, wala po tayong nakikita sa PNP. So let's look at your questions. tinanong ni Rean Vergara, what is the role of CHR in this case? Well, when state forces are involved, the CHR usually conducts an investigation into whether or not this is what we call a state-sponsored killing. So usually kapag involved ang police who are agents of the state, nag-i-investigate ang CHR. And to be fair with the CHR, nag-i-imbestiga sila, yun na nga, medyo lukewarm ang response ng CHR compared to its response kapag drug pushers or alleged drug pushers or drug runners ang nagko-conduct, ang iniimbestigahan nila. Sabi ni Yei Shepard, magkaiba ba daw yung findings ng PNP Medical Legal at saka sa PAW. Hindi pa po nagre-release ng Medical Legal ang PNP despite the demands of Attorney Chong, kasi nga supposedly Attorney Chong has given them an absolute deadline of Friday. Before that, ayaw magbigay po ng PNP at sabi nila meron daw silang inoobserbahan na proseso. Sabi ni Maria Lanada Pardines, negative sa paraffin. Yes, we have no indication that Richard Santillan actually fired the gun. Sabi ni Grace Bermudez Fedelucias, kung isa o dalawa lang siguro ang tama ng bala, maniniwala pa mga tao, pero pag ganyan na, kahit elementary, di nila mapapaniwala ang mga abusado. Sabi ni Primo Felizardo, sayang lang pinapasahod sa mga pulis na mga sangkot na ganyan. Okay, we have to distinguish ha. Hindi natin kinokondena ang buong kapulisan, hindi natin kinokondena ang buong PNP, kinokondena natin ang 18 mga pulis na nag-conduct ng operation na ito dahil hindi po sila consistent sa kanilang mga statements regarding how Mr. Santillan had died. Sabi ni Emmanuel Limbo, sa chain of command, sino po ang mga matataas na opisyal na maaring managot dito? Well, yung regional director ng Region 4 po ay isa doon sa mga ni-reassign na habang iniimbestiga. So, this is, ano ba yun? Si Carranza. Sabi ni Calvin Sotreo, this goes beyond the police involved. It goes up higher in the ranks up to the generals. Then who is this high-ranking official connected to? That's a good question. Wala pa tayong mga sagot dun sa mga yan. Tinatanong ni Mario, what's your next plan of action as part of Attorney Chong's team? This will really depend on Attorney Chong right now. Kasi this, essential talaga itong forensic examination on Richard Santillan, because we are already controverting the story of the PNP. Kasi nga, yung story ng PNP, they're already saying that solid yung kanilang intel evidence on Mr. Santillan. Kung unwarranted kasi yung entire operation to begin with, then this is not anymore an issue of excessive force. This is whether or not this is a murder couched in official language. Sabi ni Ramil Legaspi, selective naman ang CHR pagdating sa ganitong kaso. Sabi ni Waishia Maria Tamara, clear indication of an execution sa walang kalaban-laban na tao that was totally an overuse of force. Yes. No help from the PNP, sabi ni Andres Reyes. Chong seeks help outside of the Philippines. Rappler, pro-Duterte lawyer confirmed EJK. Patay tayo dyan. Let's not project muna. Sabi ni Jenny Kioma Favor, sa mga nagtatanong bakit walang pinalalabas sa media, kinokontrol sila ng LP kaya wag na umasa sa media. Sabi ni JR Moreno, this is like what happened to Kian, pero bakit tahimik ang anti-Duterte? Di pwedeng gamitin pang EJK. Sabi ni Mina Nicole Delato pa yung ngayong. May inilabas na po resulting forensic team ng PAO. Napanood ko kanina yung video ni Layas. Sabi ni Junic, Di kaya matulad na lang ito sa wala? Well, I don't think so. Sabi ni Manny Alcaraz, is there any witness from a place where he spent his gift giving? We're not discussing the witnesses right now. That will really, remember that Attorney Chong is putting together a case. So we cannot discuss the entire body of evidence that Attorney Chong has already put together. We're only discussing the ones that are already out here on social media para hindi naman po ma-preempt yung kaso na ginagawa na kinoconstruct ni Attorney Chong. Bakit nangungulit kayo kung kasama ako sa legal team ni Attorney Chong, ha? Jean Ferrer says, napakabigat ng evidence against the PNP. Yes. Sabi ni Vinsaga, there's no such thing as EJK. Salvaging victim pwede meron. EJK is a constructed term. Where the CHR can actually investigate what is known as a state-sponsored killing. Sabi ni Calvin Sotreo, who gave the orders? Yung mga tanong mo, actually hindi pa yan masasagot. So, but it's good to ask your questions. Maampakanayan sa mga demonyo ng mga demonyong dilawan, sabi ni Lan Kabugnason. Malamang pulis Caloocan, si Trillanes ang pakana at si Panot. Sabi ni Cassandra Sandy, very sad, may press conference ang Malacanang, wala man lang nag-ask about Red Santillan. Bulok talaga mainstream media dyan sa Pinas. Sabi ni Annie Gatchalian Agni, may balita pang lumabas, di daw registered yung paggamit ng car ni Red. Hindi po yan totoo. Ang sinasabi dun sa spot report is, sabi ng HPG, kaya nila hinail down, pinapatigil yung sasakyan is, ang nakikita lang na sticker, registration sticker ng kotse ni Attorney Chong is dated 2015. But that doesn't mean na hindi siya registered. It's also possible na hindi nila nakikita yung 2018 stickers or wala pa yung mga bagong stickers. Remember, nagkagulo yan. Sabi ni Marco Maikes, salamat sa mga taong tulad nyo na nasa Karambola at ibang vloggers. I gave the mainstream media a few days to broadcast this news but nothing came up. Wag na rin po tayong umasa dun sa mga hindi sumasang-ayon sa ating posisyon na i-cover ito. They have taken an editorial stand. So, ibig sabihin yan, base dun sa, wag tayong maniniwala na any form of media is non-biased. Kasi there is such a thing as editorial policy. So ang mainstream media, even if they say wala silang kinikilingan, even if they say balanced news sila, hindi po totoo yun. Kasi dun pa lang sa pagpili nila ng mga storya na i-cover, dun lang sa pagpili ng mga anggulo ng mga storya nila, meron na silang choices na ginagawa doon, meron na silang bias based on, at dun nila binabase yung mga decision nila. Sabi ni Gemini Bilardo, di kaya gamitin lang yan ng dilawan na may EJK. That's why nga, iniimbestigahan. But when you say EJK, you're talking about a state-sponsored killing. Kailangan po may policy. Naniniwala ba kayo na si Pangulong Duterte mismo mag-order ng ganito? O may gumawa siya ng policy to kill people? To kill these supposed drug syndicates? Hindi. Maliwanag dun sa statements ng ating Pangulo na the police can use deadly force as in self-defense. But he never said that there's a state policy to kill. Sabi ni Angelus Rodama, parang may nakikita akong master plan ng kabilang parlor, magkasunod to, tsaka yung sa anak ni Fildon. Is there a possibility for a grand plan to destroy PRRD, I suppose? You can never discount the possibility na yung political enemies at saka yung mga drug lords would try to launch either a campaign or an operation to discredit the president because of his anti-drug policy and also to discredit any person who supports the president's position. So, yes, there's always a possibility whether the plan is grand or namantala lang sila sa mga sitwasyon. there will always be the possibility that political enemies are out to discredit the president using any means necessary. Sabi ni Mary Ann Hugado, ganito na ba ang mga Filipino, lalo na ang mga sangkot na pulis? Uy ma'am, that's a sweeping generalization. Just because one person does it doesn't mean the whole country does it. Just because one person, a group of people do it, you cannot say that the Filipino people do it. Natagurian pa naman tayong only Catholic nation sa Asia. Again, sweeping generalizations. Huwag naman po tayong ganyan. Sabi ni Noel Jose, ang option ng pamilya ng biktima, pwede ba nilang kasuhan ng mga pulis? Yes. Sabi ni Aubrey Rogers, lahat ng mga damlawans, demonyo, pati mga anak nila masusunog sa impyerno, etc. Sabi ni Rebex Vidal, nakakatakot na humingi ng tulong sa mga kapulisan now na dapat sila ang magpatupad ng peace and order sa bansa. Sila mismo ang sangkot sa kriminalidad. Yun nga yung sinasabi natin is that the PNP hierarchy, particularly General Albayalde, should address this issue. Kasi if they don't, ang buong PNP po ang naaapektuhan dahil sa failure nila to address yung katiwalian ng ilan. Sabi ni Ligaya Lumbrera, dapat managot ang nag-utos sa mga pulis kasabwat malalaking tao dyan. Yes, but we have to find out who they are and obtain evidence on that. Sabi ni Angel Usodama, parang may nakikita siyang master plan din. Sabi ni Kiel Tangonan, di komot pulis ang pumatay considered EJK. There are police scalawags that are making or doing murders, making it look like a legitimate operation. Correct po yan. Sabi ni Gina Flores, ginagawa na talaga yung senaryo na katulad ng pagpatay kay Mr. Richard, pare-pareho ng style sa ginawa sa kaibigan daw niya. Sabi ni Josel, katakutan, why won't Attorney Chong go to NBI if the police won't do anything about it? That's his discretion. We don't actually need an official investigation if state forces kung po ang kalaban natin, kunwari PNP ang problema, and if we can obtain evidence on our own, then why the need to go to NBI? But that really is the discretion of Attorney Chong because he's directing the case. Sabi ni Vin Saga, wala pa nga akong vehicle plate number, temporary pa lang, sticker pa kaya. Correct. Sabi ni Louie Perez, bakit di pa naglalabas ng statement si PNP chief kahit initial lang, lalo na involved ang kapulisan at questionable yung operation ng police? Kasi they don't want to admit the questionability of these operations. Bakit di pa daw ano ba to? Tinatanong ni Annie Gatchalian Agni kung hinawakan na ba ng NBI yung case. Hindi pa po. Wala pa tayong indication na gano'n na nangyayari. Sabi ni DK Intia, any implication sa kaso na isinusulong ni Attorney Chong sa Comelec or Smartmatic? Well, Attorney Chong's theory is that this entire case stems from his expose on Smartmatic. So, we will see. We don't have any indication yet of how it's going to impact on that. Sabi ni Tin Endino, bakit itong mga dilaw ang tahimik? Porque ba si Attorney Chong ay Duterte supporter? Akala ko ba itong mga media walang kinikilingan? Huwag na po tayo mag-expect. Sabi ni Cecilia Adore, di ba si Noynoy confident na mananalo Liberal Party sa next election against drug war? Halos Liberal Party, Smartmatic, Noynoy, Rojas, Robredo. Tingnan ang main denominator, General Garbo, under which most of the generals under them linked to drugs. Pedrito Fugan says, dapat may press conference ang PNP. Agree. Sabi ni Kwek Debbie, gusto lang nilang patahimikin si Attorney Chong. Okay. So, if there are no other questions, mostly comments ito So, ulitin natin. Ang initial findings ni Dr. Erwin Erfe that was conducted by the PAO indicates that there are, it controverts. Okay. What does controvert mean? It means issue na ngayon, hindi na maaaring gamitin, hindi na natin pwedeng i-take at face value yung report ng PNP about what happened dito kay Richard Santillan. Ibig sabihin, maaari na natin questionin, hindi na factual ang statement ng PNP dito. Kasi hindi yung report nila are not consistent with the physical evidence that is found on the body of Richard Santillan. Yun lang po muna until we have further evidence that we can discuss publicly. Butin lang we can still do this kasi hindi pa po na-file ang kahit anong kaso. Okay, last two comments. Sabi ni Carlo Parker, is it true that the President will visit the wake of Red today? We don't know. The President will not usually announce that. Sabi ni Chris Click Station, if voting is sacred right for the people, why do you think that they isn't addressing this seriously? I believe that this hunt is going to be a significant. Ito na lang ang pag-asa ng mga Pinoy to prevent dumb leaders. Okay, you assume kasi that everything is under the control of the President. The putting in of Smartmatic actually wasn't the President's decision, given that the COMELEC is an independent, is a constitutional body, usually independent from the discretion of the President. The President cannot direct the COMELEC to use Smartmatic or to not use Smartmatic. And the COMELEC also uses Smartmatic because they used a loophole in the contract. There is a provision in the contract of Smartmatic na kapag tapos na yung services nila, that the COMELEC can purchase the equipment and then use Smartmatic again as the consultants for the use and the operation of the machines. So they used that. It was not the President's decision, it is the Commission's decision that the President cannot overturn. So stop blaming the President for this one. It's not his fault. It's also not his discretion. He can order an investigation, but what the President does is he allows the people who have jurisdiction over any matter to take full cognizance first. And then it isn't until later on, pagka maliwanag na there is a problem, that he can controvert, that he can overrule, that's when he steps in. Also, please note that the President cannot step in every single agency. Please stop expecting that the President be Superman and intervene in every controversy in every government agency. It's just not physically possible to do that. Sabi ni Ding de la Cruz, what is the next step? Well, Attorney Chong is already doing it. We will just announce it after it's been taken, after he makes it public. Please take note, we cannot make announcements of the next step to be taken because syempre may kalaban tayo at ang kalaban dito, obviously, is the PNP in the case of Richard Santillan. So, you cannot broadcast your moves. So, pasensya na kayo kung hindi po sinasagot ni Attorney Chong or any of the people who are helping him out kung ano yung next step. At saka hindi po ilalabas lahat po ng ebidensya, most of which are only going to be shown during, if there are judicial proceedings pursuant to this, kung nasa hukuman na. Sabi ni Lilia Colendres Hill, kaya malakas ang loob ng mga dilawan na mananalo sila dahil sa Smartmatic na naman ang gagamitin sa eleksyon. Alright, thank you very much. For those who haven't shared, please share this live. And if you haven't followed yet, please like and follow on Luminous by Trixie, Cruz-Angeles, and Ahmed Paglinawan for more updates and so that you can get updates on this one. Okay, questions about the woman companion ni Mr. Santillan in the car. We deliberately do not mention her name. We're not sure if her family has been informed. So we're still at least, I know that some people have released her name, pero ako will not discuss her name right now or the reasons why she was there until her family has been fully informed, until we know that her family has been fully informed of this. Wag naman po natin pangunahan ang kanyang pamilya. So, yun lang po muna. Maraming salamat ulit sa pag-antabay dito sa mga Facebook Live on Luminous. Thank you very much.